Hi, Nick Dogan, North State Law. We safeguard your professional license so you can get back to business. Today we're going to talk about how do I acquire a North Carolina General Contractors license. Um, I talked about a new service that my firm, North State Law, had launched back in November of 2024, and that is we are helping individuals and companies acquire licensure with the North Carolina General Contracting Board. We also help general contractors set up their entities also. I'll let that video speak for itself. That video was back in November of 2024. We'll have a link to that video at the end of this video. But speaking specifically on how to acquire a North Carolina General Contractor's license, one of the first things that you need to figure out is what type of contracting are you going to do? Are you going to do commercial contracting? If so, you need to make sure that you have the very specific license. That's be a builder contractor license, right? If you're going to do just residential work, then you're a residential contractor. If you're going to do other specialty contractor type of work, then you need a specialty contractor license. So there's a lot of different ones. You got to figure that out. And probably if you're getting this far into the process, you know what type of contracting you're going to get into and what you're going to be building. Okay. Another thing that you need to figure out is, am I going to be doing this myself? Am I a sole proprietor? Am I going to be doing an LLC? Am I incorporating something, an entity and doing a corporation? Am I going to have partners? If so, do I want a partnership? You got to figure out what you want to do. And then the other thing to go along with that is you can be an owner of a company. Let's say John Smith LLC or John Smith Contracting LLC. And you don't necessarily have to be the qualifier for your company. You can have somebody else who is either already a qualified individual, like a qualifier that's licensed as such, and they can put their qualifying license under your LLC, like John Smith General Contracting LLC, okay? A qualifier can actually be a qualifier for two businesses. So this person could have their own general contracting company, and then they've got one more spot left. And if they want to be a qualifier for your company, then they can do that as long as it's two, can't be more than that. So if you go that route and have a qualifier for a general contractor's license for your business, then you do the application. They could be, say they already have a qualifier license and you're applying to have your license qualified to them, then you're going to do the application, you're going to sign off on it. So one of the things that's going to be required is 3 character references, or if you're German, 3 character references, and that'll be for the person that's qualifying for your company. And if you're signing the application, like, you know, John Smith is it's his company, he's getting qualified from somebody else, there's going to be 6 character references. 3 character references for Mr. Smith as the owner, and 3 character references for the person that's going to be the qualifier for John Smith General Contracting LLC. All right, so you're going to need to line that stuff up. There's going to be a financial statement, and this is where the other video talks about this in more detail, but you know, you need to figure out, am I going to be having a limited license? Am I going to have an intermediate license? Am I going to have an unlimited license? And there are different monetary thresholds for each one. So you got to make sure that you understand that as well. On the financial statement, you're going to have to show a certain level of liquidity. So you'll have to show how many assets your company has, and then how much money can you get to if needed, like how much money you got in the bank, you know, things like that. And those are going to go into the financial statement, and those are going to kind of drive the boat to a certain extent regarding what license level you're going to be able to acquire anyways. So you got all that stuff, and you're going to need to be able to, you're going to have to show, you know, has there been any bankruptcies? And that's going to go into the financial portion of it, because the GC board, they, rightfully so, they don't want to see people that had a bankruptcy 2 years ago get into a business like this where, you know, there's access to bank draws and things like that. So it's understandable from their perspective why they require that sort of information. And it's going to be the same, you know, when you have the qualifier coming into the company, you're going to want to, just as a practical matter, know if they've had any bankruptcies in the last, you know, 7 years or so. So those are just going to be the couple things that are going to be required. There's also a very lengthy questionnaire, and it's going to ask you certain things like, have you had any regulatory, professional license, board or agencies or any other sort of regulatory actions against you or your company in the last X amount of time? The biggest thing with those type of questions is always be honest, because they're going to find out. They're going to ask you, have you had any criminal convictions in X amount of time? They're going to find out. So you might as well be honest from the get-go, okay? You don't want to lie on any of these applications, because that's where they can deny you, and they're going to have a really good reason to deny you. And if you appeal that, they're going to deny you again. And then if you appeal that up to Superior Court, a Superior Court judge is going to go, well, you shouldn't have lied. You know what I mean? So through the rest of the application, all those other background questions, you want to be 100% transparent of everything. You want to have documentation to back up what you're saying. Like say 6 years ago, you got a DWI. All right, unfortunately it happens, not great. So you would say, yes, I had a criminal conviction within the last, I'm just throwing a number out there, the last 10 years, okay? You want to make sure that you have copies of, the conviction, the circumstances, any court documents you have to back that up. You want to have that available, because you can upload that to their portal, and you'll have that ready to go and save you some time, and hopefully get your license sooner rather than later. So I know I threw a ton of information at you, and that's only just the tip of the iceberg, to be quite frank with you. If you got any questions, feel free to check out the blogs on my website, northstatelawfirm.com. Also got other YouTube videos on here as well. And then if you can't find what you're looking for, please give my office a call or a text at 919-521-8810. That's 919-521-8810. You get a free 15-minute discovery call with a member of my staff. I appreciate everybody watching. Click the other link to that video. Hopefully I pointed in the right direction. And keep building North Carolina. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.